r/askreddit, what would people in 1923 say? It's 1923, underscore 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 needs to stop. Flapper dresses. Young women are showing way too much leg. It would be the opposite. It's 1923, forcing women to cover their ankles needs to stop. It's crazy to think flappers were the children and grandchildren of Victorians who were so conservative socially. Lynchings. Unequal legal rights for men and women. The Equal Rights Amendment, LINK, was introduced in 1923. Yesterday the Republicans blocked, LINK, the Equal Rights Amendment, from being added to the Constitution. And Senate Republicans on Thursday blocked a measure that would have allowed the Equal Rights Amendment, ERA, to be added to the Constitution. The Hill. Yet I'm not too big on the ERA. It would have the consequence of including women in the draft, which only a minority of women agree with, LINK, and it could end programs like WIC since they only target one sex. Come on, it's 1923, y'all still using carriages on horses. While in a 2ND/3RD world country at the time. Waving the Confederate flag like they were the good guys. That war was decided almost 40 years ago. Actually, there was a huge resurgence of interest in the KKK in the 1920s, mostly due to the movie Birth of a Nation. Just a friendly reminder that Confederacy was Democrats, yet weirdly if you see someone waving a Confederate battle flag they are almost always a Republican. Prohibition in the US. Just because one side lost the war it doesn't mean they are the bad guys. Just a food for thought, completely unrelated to your example. Cholera. My first thought too. Cocaine in soft drinks. Speak for yourself. Confirmed removed from Coca-Cola by 1908, possibly by 1903. Cocaine in Coca-Cola was long gone by then. Heroin would be banned the following year. LSD stayed federally legal until 1966 though. Spanish flu. Spanish flu ended in 1920. The Soviet Union, a ton of people thought it wouldn't last very long and it would just collapse. This is the only correct answer. We're still dealing with the consequences of prohibition to this very day. In the grand scheme of things it didn't last long and did collapse. Less than 100 years is a short time for a country. It's 1923, this roaring needs to stop. Use of the phrase 23 skidoo. These young whippersnappers don't use it correctly anyway. And stop embroidering it on all that clothing too. Hot music. Cops killing people. Writing 1922 on your checks. Mining deaths, higher wages. Communism/fascism. Capitalism was literally driving the country into the ground and shortly after was saved by communist policies. Edit, Social Security, living wage, unemployment insurance, abolishing child labor, 40-hour work week, collective bargaining, banking regulations, deposit insurance, job programs. That was barely a thing at the time. Facts. That Hitler really needs to be put in jail. While I agree with that sentiment, at that time most people hadn't heard of him yet, even in Germany. Peace. Alcohol consumption. Cholera. Investing in the stock market. It's roaring this never. North versus South, Yankees versus Confederates, etc. It's 1923, the black men dating our women needs to stop. War bonds. Some people were fine with it. Wives no longer being brutalized by their drunk husbands, for example. The Spanish flu. Working German economy. It was the roaring 20s, so the blue sock set gets angry about young people partying and going off somewhere to screw, and the young people are off partying, screwing, and getting illicit booze. Some of the same things we might say today like, greed is ruining society, or some other sin will be our downfall. Probably as true then as it is now. It's 1923. You old people need to stop judging us young people for enjoying this newfangled Charlestown dance. Employment of the Pinkerton Detective Agency by the federal government. Great Wars. The continued entanglements in intra-European power struggles. These world wars need to stop. About 20 years early for that sentiment. Until World War II started in 36 WWI was just called the Great War or the War. The whole point of the treaty at the end was to break up large empires and prevent it from happening again. Problem was reparations leveled on Germany were so bad that it helped set the stage for another war. Wearing an onion on your belt. Hate. Corporate greed.